What's up, world? It's your girl Lex, and you know what time it is. It's time to put me on game. So, tonight I have a very, very special guest, someone I've known since childhood, a beautiful young lady by the name of Michelle Griffin. How you doing tonight, Michelle?
I'm doing amazing, boo. How are you?
I'm blessed, and highly favored. Nah, I'm good. Considering the circumstances, with how the world's going right now, I don't have any complaints. What's that song? I won't complain, and
Right.
I'm not. So how are you doing with everything that's going on, the pandemic? Like, how's life? What's going on with you?
I feel like you. I have no complaints. Seriously, I feel like this is probably been one of the best years ever for me. And I feel so selfish saying that because of everything that's going on. I mean, we'll get into all of that later, but it definitely has been a really, really, really good year, for me. So I'm good. Would you say blessed and highly favored?
Yes, honey. Like the church folks say. Now, I wouldn't say that it's selfish that you're saying that. First of all, let me get that out there. You're not selfish. And you're living your life. Things are happening. We're in a pandemic, and a lot of people have lost their lives. People have lost their jobs. The world as we know it right now is completely changed, and it will probably never go back to how we knew it to be.
Right.
You're not selfish. You're living your life. So since we're there, you're not selfish. Tell everybody who Michelle Griffin is.
Well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. So Michelle Griffin is I would just say right now I'm a creative businesswoman.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing right now, girl. At this point, at this stage in my life, I'm a creative businesswoman that is the owner and operator of a few different businesses. But Runway Rules is my baby girl. My first and foremost, my good little baby.
Yes. So before we get into that, creative businesswoman,
Yeah.
um, tell us where you're from. Of course, I know where you're from, but tell us where you're from. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing.
Okay. So from, like you said, you know where I'm from, but I'm from Hampton, Virginia, but I'm actually born and raised in downtown in Newport News, Virginia. And then my parents moved to Hampton when I was in middle school. So all of elementary school, I went to all Newport News schools. So technically from Newport News, Newport News, Virginia, right? And raised down there, like I said, parents moved from Newport News to Hampton, and I started living life once I got to once I got to Hampton, and from there, like I said, Hampton middle schools, Hampton high schools, where I met you, and high school. So I mean, right here in the 757, as we like to call it.
The 7-5. So, how was it growing up in the 757?
Growing up in the 757, girl, growing up, you thought that this was the best place, ever on God's green earth, but you're in your younger years, you're in your youth, so anything, so you have no responsibilities, you don't have no bills to pay, you don't have any of that. We probably thought it was like the best thing smoking since sliced bread. Um, but the truth of the matter of it is like, I don't know if you knew, but I grew up without my father. So yeah, my father was in state penitentiary, and
Oh, wow.
it was just me and my mom. Yeah, it was just me and my mom. So she was always at work. My mom worked at Kmart. I don't know if you remember Kmart back in the day. She worked there for forever. Yeah, for like 25, 30 years, and it was just always me. And, I have two older brothers, but one of my brothers did not live with me. And then my other brother was actually incarcerated as well. So him and my dad were incarcerated together. So it was just me and my mom. And with my mom always at work, it was just me out here in these streets, So upbringing, I mean, I guess I have a normal upbringing, like everybody else.
So do you feel, first of all, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day. Do you
Mhm.
feel that your father being incarcerated, you being, the youngest child, kind of the only child in the household, do you feel that made you grow up faster? Do you feel it made you, gain some sense of responsibility at a younger age?
Absolutely. Yeah. That incorporated with the fact that I got pregnant at 17.
So how was that? If you could
Hmm.
talk about that, how was that?
Oh, girl. It was actually, I tell everybody, if I could like speak at youth conferences and things of that nature, which is one of my long-term goals, I would speak on it. Like that's my trial, look where I am now, but it was kind of iffy back then in high school. Luckily for me though, like I said, I was 17, but I was in my senior year of high school.
Mhm.
So I only had a couple of months left. I still was able to graduate, walk across the stage, 4 months pregnant. I was still able to attend my prom, 4 or 5 months pregnant, So if I have to be honest, Lex, I will have to say that it wasn't that hard because I was still at home with my mom. Does that make sense? So I had help, with my mom. Even though she was at work all the time, I still had the financial support of her. I still had the physical support of her. So it wasn't hard on me. And at 17, you think you know everything, right? Like I got the world figured out, honey. Like I got the man, the baby daddy, I got a car, we moved into our own place. Like I had life figured out at 17, honey. But I would honestly speak and have to say it wasn't hard. The only thing that I do regret, because I don't regret what happened, I definitely don't regret my son. The only thing I do regret is me not being able to experience college life.
Yeah.
And I chose not to, do that. I still could have done that. I did everything else. Like I said, I still graduated, still did everything, but I chose not to do that. But looking back on it, that's the one thing I regret.
Oh,
Hmm.
sorry. You said prom. You know what's so funny? This is random. I still remember what you wore to prom. Like I thought I said you had the best dress at prom. You had like this green snake skin.
Oh yes, I was about to ask you, what did I wear to prom? I did. And you want to do something? We off topic, but I had the little. I was in love with Monica back then.
You know,
Monica the singer.
that's what she was giving me, Monica vibes.
And Monica had, remember she used to wear the armband?
Yep.
I think it was like to cover up her tattoo or something like that. And I got this lady. Actually, it was a lady that lived right beside Hampton High. I don't know how I found her. I think like my mom knew her or something.
Mhm.
And she made dresses. She sewed. She was really, really good. And I told her what I wanted. I went to the fabric store. I picked out that green snakeskin and told her I needed a dress, honey, to fit this 4 month belly and the armband to go with it. And she did it. Yeah, it was a lady, a black lady, that made my dress and my little armband for me. Girl, you just brought back some memories.
Still remember that. I ain't gonna say how many years ago it was, but I still remember that all these years later. Nah, that was amazing.
Oh man, I forgot all about that. I gotta find them pictures.
I got some. I'm gonna
You
find
do?
them to you. I do.
Yes, send it to me.
Down in my boxes. So tell me about your businesses.
Okay. Businesses. I have Runway Rules, and then I just launched a nonprofit piece for Runway Rules, which is called Runway Rules Academy. So I have a for-profit and a not-for-profit. And then a lot of people don't know, though, I run businesses in between all of that stuff. I have Griffin Consulting, LLC, or I have Griffin Enterprises, LLC, that I own with my niece. Her and I are 50-50 partners in that, and that's a trucking company that I have with that. And then I have Griffin's Painting and Home Improvement that I own 50-50 with my parents.
Yes,
Yeah, so
Michelle.
all of those I do like behind the scenes. I don't really put those really out in the forefront. But Runway Rules was my very first launch, and that's my baby girl. So
I know that's your baby. Amazing. First of all, I didn't know you own all those businesses. That means
mhm.
I didn't do my research before I interviewed you. No, but
Right.
I had no clue. You're like a mogul out here. You
Girl, I'm trying.
we're gonna get to the social media aspect, but you need to share more of that on social media. I feel like people need to know, if you're comfortable with it, what you have going on. You have some amazing things going on.
Yeah.
So when did you decide you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Was it in your younger years, or was it in your adult years? When did you decide?
I just decided. When did I launch Runway Rules? A couple of years ago. Like, just to be perfectly honest, yeah, like I literally just decided in my adulthood, in my 30s, my mid 30s, I decided to do it. I was living that corporate life. In Atlanta, a lot of people don't know, like I'm a surgical assistant. Like I have a, certificate in that. And I was living the corporate life, girl, working 50, 60 hours a week, making good money. I had no reason to do anything else, but then my grandmother ended up getting sick, which is my mom's mom. And of course, everybody is here in Newport News. I was in Atlanta, like on my 11th year there. And my grandmother is the world to me. She means everything to me. So I just made a personal decision. I was making so much money and doing so good for myself. Like, oh, okay, I can just take a little break. Job approved it. Came here. Girl, been here ever since. And been here ever since. Like, so yeah, to answer your question directly, I just decided a couple of years ago. And that was the reason I decided to do it, is because when I came here back to Virginia, they weren't paying the money that I was making in Atlanta. Of course. Nothing was the same. And mind you, I'm almost 10, 11 years removed from Virginia. So I'm thinking everybody is pretty much on the same pay scale, when it comes to Virginia versus Atlanta, because they're not that much of a difference, when it comes to things like that. But I came here and got a reality check, honey. They said, that good old money you was making out there is not going to happen here. Like literally, Lex, cut in half. I'm not talking about a few dollars. I'm not even talking about a couple thousand you miss in a year, cut in half. And I'm like, how can anybody live like this? Like, no, that's not about to do it. So I decided to take my 401k that I had saved up and say, forget it. Like, I had decided to stay here for my grandmother, to take care of her first and foremost. And I lived off my savings for so long. And then when my savings started dwindling down a little bit, I said, all right, Michelle, you got to do something. And it's either going to be go back to Atlanta and get back into that corporate world, because my job would have took me back. Yeah. But I had already been here for like a year, getting reacquainted back with my family, and I missed it. So I said, money or family? Money or family? And I chose family. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and everybody makes their own decisions, but I chose my family and ended up staying here. And then I said, all right, here's the time you're going to take this money and you're going to invest in yourself. That whole cliche, that saying that everybody says, invest in yourself. No, that's real talk. So I took that money and I said, what do you want to do? What I'm good at, what I've always done, figure out a way to create my own lane, and not get involved in an already oversaturated lane, because again, I'm in Virginia. I'm not in a major city anymore. I'm not in Atlanta. I'm not in LA. I'm not in New York. I'm not in any of those places. I'm in Virginia, 757 to be exact. So figure out how to get this money. And that's what I did. I just took my money and I invested in myself. I came up with Runway Rules. I took off and it haven't stopped since.
So I know that you have a background in modeling. Was there anything else in your past that made you come up with the idea for Runway Rules? Did you?
No, not really. It was literally just because I initially moved to Atlanta to do that.
Okay.
So that was my reason for moving to Atlanta. I initially moved to Atlanta because I wanted to be a part of a big city, a major city market, to pursue the modeling. So that was my whole thought process when I moved away, but then again, once you get there, bills still got to get paid. I had a son, at the time, and I can't just feed him and pay bills off of nothing. I didn't know anybody in Atlanta, a few people, but I didn't know anybody there, no family, no nothing. So I ended up getting a job in the medical and corporate to try to pay for my idea of going down there to, start this modeling stuff. And it just never happened. And I just ended up staying in the corporate world.
It happened. It just didn't happen when you wanted it to happen, but it happened. You made sacrifices. You speak very highly of your family, and you made sacrifices for your family, and look at you now.
Yes.
So it happened. It's happening.
Yes.
As we're speaking. So I know I talked about COVID. Right. How are you keeping your businesses afloat? Like, how is this working? Have you came across any hardships since COVID has happened? How's it working out for you?
So everybody asked me this question. What I did when I first came up with Runway Rules is I said, now this is, I'm investing in myself. I'm putting money out here to invest in myself, but I got to figure out how to keep the money consistent, right? So I don't fall into any hardships. What's the one way I can do that? And for, like I said, figuring out a lane for myself, I said with what I want to do, which is teach the girls modeling, etiquette, things of that nature, how can I partner with a larger corporation and have them pay me to do it? And not only pay me to do it, pay me consistently on a monthly basis, contract with them. And I can have that base pay because, mind you, like I said, I've been in corporate all these years. I got to have that base pay. Mm-hmm. And then whatever I make after that is extra, right? So I said to myself, all right, I'm going to write up some contracts and I'm going to put them in the school system because where is my clientele? My clientele are girls. Genius. Where are the girls?
In school.
In the school, mm-hmm. Right? So let me write up these contracts, take them to the schools, see if they bite. Not one person bit for a whole year. Not one person, Lex. Like I had to be persistent about it. So for a whole year, I got shut down. They're coming like, oh, what's this girl coming in here thinking we about to pay her to do some extracurricular activity? It's not gonna happen, like it just, again, I got shot down for a whole year straight. But I kept saying, they're gonna see the vision. They're gonna see the vision. If I get enough parents engaged in it, meaning if I put my brand out there enough and enough parents like it and they engage in it, the parents will then go to the school and request my services. Mm-hmm. And literally, I lied to you not, that's what happened. Wow. I told the parents to go to their counselors, to their teachers, to their principals, to whoever, to request my classes and that they know a good program that girls could benefit from. And that's what they did. The school ended up contacting me. And of course, it's a protocol. They're like, oh, well, let us call downtown. Downtown means to the school board. Mm-hmm. And they did. And they ended up calling me saying, okay, Ms. Griffin, we're going to give you a trial run. Just a trial run.
Don't worry about it.
This is so cute. Is he okay?
Yes, he's all right. Somebody came out there.
Is it she or he?
It's a girl. Come here, Ivy.
Okay.
Goodness.
Hey, Ivy.
Say hi.
Hey, Ivy.
Yeah, look, I don't kiss my dog in the mouth.
Cute.
So, okay, so you said, they said they're going to give you a trial run.
Yeah, they gave me a trial run and said, we'll pay you for 2 months. Mm-hmm. We'll honor your contract. We'll pay you for 2 months, but you have to have like a good turnout. You have to meet certain requirements. And the requirements was only that the girls and the parents give good feedback, which they already were, and that's what happened. Did the 2-month trial run. They paid me and they extended the contract. So that's how I'm able to kind of stay afloat and do everything because I have base contracts.
Yes. Come on, Michelle. Real. How does it feel to have a program, an extracurricular program within the school system that you're a product of?
Absolutely. It feels really good. And not even just Hampton. I'm with Virginia Beach too. So
across the water.
Yeah. So I feel really, really good. Almost as good as I felt when we came back here and my son went to Hampton High School. Yeah. It's like, how nostalgic is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for him to graduate from the same high school that I graduated from, like that was nostalgic for me. I loved every minute of it, but I think it's amazing. I feel really good about it. And I'm happy that, I took my time and went with that approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're doing Runway Rules and, you're in the school system. I would love it if you're in any school system. And I know that you are going to get many other school systems under your belt. It's something that your program is something that young girls need, especially young girls of color. We need confidence building programs. We need, because everybody's not going to be a cheerleader. Everybody's not going to be a basketball player or play some type of sports or be the most. Yeah.
This is all subject, but I was gonna tell you, I call y'all prayer. We was talking about that the other day, me and Woo, girl, about day. Go ahead.
He's doing an amazing job too. I need to get him on this show as well.
Yes, you do.
But yeah, everybody's not gonna be that so-called it person, growing up. And some people need a boost of confidence.
Absolutely.
Need
Yeah.
a platform or a certain atmosphere where they can learn how to have that confidence. So it's really dope what you're doing. Um, so looking back, you're very knowledgeable now. Looking back at your 15-year-old self,
Right.
knowing what you know now, what would you tell 15-year-old Michelle?
Oh, child, that's a good question. What would I tell 15-year-old Michelle? To take your time. Like I said earlier, and that's a real answer. Again, I just hinted on it earlier. When we're that age, 15, 16, 17, we know everything. We got life figured out. We have the world figured out. Nobody can tell us nothing. Like we're in a rush to pay bills. We're in a rush to put ourselves in debt. We're in a rush to do all of this stuff. And if I knew then what I know now, I would not have rushed into that. I mean, I would just tell my 15-year-old self, slow down, like get to know you, and me personally, my 15-year-old self. I didn't get to experience college. If I would have talked to my 15-year-old self then, it would have been, first and foremost, to not have sex in high school.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. And I probably would have wanted to travel. You know what I mean? Like actually see the world in itself and go to school, experience all of that stuff. That's what I would tell my 15-year-old self. Do all of that first. Everything else will come later.
Amen. Amen. Because college saved my life. And
Yeah. See?
I probably would have still been in the 7 cities now.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, and that's still a lot of people's reality.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's still a lot of people's reality. And girl, just trying to change the dynamic of it here.
Yeah. Well, you're doing it one runway at a time.
Right, I like that. That's cute. I'm gonna have to steal that. Changing the world one runway at a time.
Love it. I love it. So, Michelle, put me on game and leave me with the most important quality that a person must have to become a successful entrepreneur.
What do I think the most important quality is? I feel like consistency. I feel like consistency is really, really a major quality. Making sure that you're actually doing something that you love to do. You know what I mean? Because they say when you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, right? So do something that you love to do, figure out your own lane, but consistency for me, is going to be the key. And what I mean by that is I see a lot of people, and just not now, even when I wasn't an entrepreneur, when I was in corporate, I used to see other entrepreneurs. It's like this business, this business, this business, this business, this business, and they come at you like every 5 days with something new. And for me, I'm like, I can't even take the first one serious. But here you are coming with the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth one. Yeah. So my little tip, it would be stay consistent with the first thing. Get that down packed. Make money off of that first. Figure out how you can stay solid with that. And then once you have a reputable, whatever it is that you're doing, brand or business or whatever the case may be, then start adding your other entities to it so people can take you serious on all aspects.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I mean? I think that a problem with a lot of entrepreneurs is that it's just like the younger generation. People want instant gratification. They want to become, say for example, they want to become a designer. And right. Think that, okay, I started sewing, I created my line, or I started an online boutique, and now I should be making the same amount of money that Fashion Nova's making or Pretty right. making, and they want that instant gratification. And when they don't have it, then that's when they start jumping around and, okay, well, they're doing this on Instagram, or I see this, I could, try to figure it out this way. And they're not consistent. And I feel like that's a downfall of a lot of entrepreneurs. You're not consistent and you're wanting that instant gratification, and that's not going to happen.
And you hit the nail right on the head. That's exactly what I was saying. Like I tell everybody, Everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur.
Say it again.
Everybody is not meant to be an entrepreneur, just like everybody's not meant to be a doctor. Everybody's not meant to be a lawyer. Like, again, I can't stress the importance of find your lane and stay in your lane and make sure that it's something that you really like to do and really love to do, because again, it won't be work, right? But it was kind of like this fad, and it's still kind of going on to be this entrepreneur, right? Nipsey said it, he passed away, he preached, ownerships, assets over liabilities, all that stuff. And I feel like it's a fad that everybody wants to be this entrepreneur now, and it kind of oversaturates, you know what I mean, the people that are really consistent putting work in behind their brand and behind their business. But yeah, I agree with what you said, 1000%. Like, listen now, you may be meant to be a teacher, or you may be meant to, you know what I mean, like be an Instagram model. Like, I don't know, you may be meant to do whatever your heart desires, but girl, no, everybody ain't meant to be an entrepreneur.
Everybody. But I,
Right.
you know what, and this is part of the reason why I started this platform, because I want, let me back up. Everything that I do for younger Black people. Everything.
Right.
Any brand that I'm a part of, anything that I've created, past, present, or future, is going to be to inspire young Black, brown, and yellow girls and boys that look like us.
Absolutely.
And I want them, with this platform, I want them to know and see and hear stories of entrepreneurs that look like them, so they can understand that everybody may not be made out to be an entrepreneur. Or
Right.
if you're going to be an entrepreneur and it's for you, it's not going to be easy. You know,
Right.
I think that everybody sees the instant gratification, the success stories, and they don't see the backstory, and they don't see what that person went through, and you know, that they had to do to get to where they are now. So that's why I created this platform.
Yeah, because social media is going to make it seem like that, because people share what they want to share on social media.
Ooh, girl.
You understand? Like, I just, like, some people only share their highs.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore you don't get to see the lows.
Yeah.
And for the people who are, social media heads, it's like that's all they see. So
Yeah.
they're going to think that it's easy because nobody is sharing the real. You know what I mean? But like you just said, you wanted to create a platform to show some transparency.
Yeah.
So that makes all of the difference. Like, I feel like that's amazing. Girl, you doing amazing yourself. Doing amazing yourself. Like, come on. I love everything that you're doing.
Thank you. We just some girls from the 7-5.
We just some girls from the 757. Like, they just gotta stop paying so much attention. And I know you touched on it earlier, but I purposely say, and I get bashed for this by my friends. Everybody that sees the up close work, it's like, you're not on social media, you didn't post on Instagram, you didn't do this, and you didn't do this, and you always tell us to stay consistent, but you're not consistent. I'm like, in real life I am. How do you think I have all this stuff going on?
Right.
I am. That's one of my downfalls, Lex, is that I purposely take breaks from social media. Purposely. And that's just for my own mental, because I can get on social media, me personally, can get on social media and I scroll for like an hour or two. And by the time I look up, it's been an hour or two.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I could have been doing something else productive with that time. You get what I'm saying? Because everything with my brand and my business is authentic. I don't get anything from anybody else. It's a thought process for me, right? So I don't need to scroll social media to see what nobody doing.
Yeah.
So I had to literally force myself to come off of social media for a couple days a week so that I can get stuff done. You know what I mean? So no, I don't post as much as I should by business guidelines or whoever's guidelines. But in real life, I'm doing good. You know what I mean? But I do agree that for purposes of what you said, because that's my whole mission statement, is to inspire people, and especially to inspire young girls, right? Young boys too, but I just really specialize with young girls about all of that stuff. And I want to continue to use my platform, to inspire them. And the only way I can do that is if I post, right? So I do need to do a better job of that, but I have to come off to focus.
Yeah. I know that social media can be over consuming. I don't really share this with a lot of people, but I'm a social media strategist. That is my
Right.
so-called day job.
Okay.
And I don't want to say the brand on. I'll tell you offline the brand that I'm working
Okay.
on right now, but it's needed. It's 2020. I don't know, your financial situation right now, but if one day you can hire someone, even part-time, to help you out with it, it's needed. Not
Right.
necessarily your personal page, that's your personal life, but your business page,
Right.
and you're trying to reach a demographic that was born into social media.
Social media. Right.
So
Exactly.
it's needed. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say. Whenever you get a chance, we could talk offline, and it doesn't have to be me that you hire, or if you're looking to hire someone and you don't want to hire me because you know me, I could point you in the right direction, but it is definitely needed. That word consistency, that is something that everyone needs, and you have to be consistent with your social media platform, because it's like back in the day having a website, like
Right.
social media is your website. Social media is your walking billboard for yourself and for your
Absolutely.
business. You need it, girl. I ain't gonna
No,
lie to you about that.
100%. I do. I post more on my business page now than I do on my personal page. I don't think I posted on my personal page in probably a month, and I'm just throwing that out there. But on my business page, I post every week.
Okay.
You know what I mean, I make it my point to post on my business page every week. And I just launched that, when I launched my business page? Last month?
Hmm.
It was October. Yeah, I think I launched it for like Labor Day or something like that. So I'm gonna do better on my business
So
page. I
you're
definitely
making the right steps. So you're posting a week, once a week now. Try to get it down to maybe twice a week,
do
and
it three
then
times
try to
a week.
get 3 times a week, and then try to go to once a day. You'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
It's because I'm so authentic with my posts. I have to find, like you said, probably like a social media strategist,
Mhm.
to find like the little things to post, because I'm always posting like the real, you know what I mean? Like pictures of my classes and things of that. But just like the little stuff that you can post in between time,
A
that's
motivational quote.
exactly, yeah, that stuff is what I need to do. And I've learned the hard way, and we ain't even touch on this, and we'll talk about this offline, but I've learned the hard way that oversharing can be detrimental. So like I said, I purposely don't share a bunch of stuff. One, for mental, but then another reason is because I was at a point oversharing,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would look up and it's like, oh, 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 you ain't even gonna say thank you. You ain't even, you know what I mean? Like,
I
oh,
understand.
okay. Let me keep my little stuff to myself then and just not say anything. So that's just me being honest with you. So I do. I have to post like the little stuff, in between time.
You'll figure it out, though. But this was an amazing conversation, Michelle. This might have been one of my best interviews. It was.
Grace said that to everybody.
No, you listen. I'm launching on my birthday next Friday, October 23rd, and you'll be
Uh-huh.
able to hear the episodes.
Yay! Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. I'm gonna have to interview you
Yeah, come on.
offline. Like I know. What made you start the podcast?
So I had started a YouTube page maybe about 3 or 4 years ago.
Mhm.
And I was interviewing Black female entrepreneurs. I wanted to create a lane. I was working for Rolling Out Magazine, and I wanted to interview.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah. But
Okay.
so then I created my own personal YouTube page. And like you said, I wanted to create a lane that wasn't oversaturated. I like
Mhm.
being in front of the camera. I like talking to people. So I was like, what can I do that makes sense? So I said, I'm gonna interview Black female entrepreneurs. And I was doing it, but I had moved to Atlanta at the time, and the person that was filming for me was living in Charlotte. And I really
Mhm.
didn't have a lot of money then, entrepreneur. I just moved here,
Absolutely.
cleared out my savings, kind of like you. So I was trying to figure it out. So I wasn't as consistent as I needed to be. So I kind of let it fall to the wayside. And
Mhm.
since COVID happened, I started doing a live video with one of my friends called Talking Black with Chiz and Lex.
Okay.
And I was like, I love being in front of the camera. I love interviewing people. Like but I need to do something for myself, you know?
Right.
And I talked to one of my friends. I already had a camera, and he was
Yeah.
like, use your camera. So got a camera. I mean, I already have my camera, got some lights, and I'm doing it myself now.
Yeah, right. But see, this is you though. Like I see it, and I know everybody preaches a lot on like energy and vibes, and all that stuff. But no, I really feel it. This is you.
Yeah, thank
Like
you.
this is your lane, oversaturated or not. Yeah, everybody got podcasts now, but this is authentically you.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I don't feel like you're doing it just because what we just finished talking about. Oh, everybody doing a podcast. Let me hop on a podcast. No, this is authentic and genuine from you. So congratulations, boo.
Thank you, girl. Okay, so I want to do some rapid fire questions with you. Some of them are completely random,
right.
off topic, but we're just gonna have a little bit of fun. So,
okay. All right, let me get ready. Let me get ready for this.
Put your seatbelt on. No, I'm playing. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a good question. A superpower. If I could have a superpower, what would it be? I'm choosing in between two right now. It will probably be. Oh, Lex, you done stumped me.
Okay, we could come back to that one. We can come back to that. All right, so you got a lot to do with your businesses and you need a song that's gonna get you amped up. What is your ultimate go-to get it done song? If I play it on my phone right now, like you're gonna get it done.
Anything, little baby. Anything, little baby. Anything, little baby. Anything. Yeah, anything, little baby.
So Tyra Banks or Naomi Campbell?
Tyra.
Oh, I didn't think you were gonna say Tyra.
Tyra. I'll go Tyra.
Okay.
As far as her business ventures, I like her entrepreneurial side. Now, I don't know if Naomi, does a whole bunch of it, but Tyra's is showcased, you know what I mean, a little bit more. So that's the reason I choose Tyra. Her business aspect of things is amazing.
Absolutely. Name one thing you're afraid of.
Failure.
Oh, okay. Manicure or pedicure?
Pedicure.
All right. Romantic getaway with your boo or a girl's trip?
Romantic getaway.
Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Thanksgiving. My all-time favorite holiday.
That's my favorite holiday too.
Because we used to come home, remember?
Yeah.
We used to drive home together.
Yeah, my mama is not letting me up in her house with COVID. Like
absolutely not with COVID. No. But remember the year we drove and we got snowed in?
Yep. I had that little 1998 white Mustang.
Did you?
I did. Where did I think we was going in that? Yes, I did.
Got there. We got there. I didn't remember the car you had, but we got there.
Yeah. Well, this was an amazing interview, girl. Thank you so much. I love you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep inspiring. Just keep being a positive Black woman in this world, in this crazy world. Keep doing it.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Thank you so much, Will. I appreciate it. And congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You are on everything because I see you going so large. I see you going so large with this. For real. Like, this is you, Lex. Seriously. So congratulations on everything.
All right, girl. Thank you. Have a good night. Sorry I started so late, but thank you so much and have a good night.
That's like the typical Black person. I got a nerve to text you. You told me I need 5 minutes. I got a nerve to text you. I need 15.
Yes, I really need about 15, but
Right, exactly. Try to be professional. All right, no problem, girl. I appreciate it. I would have waited 30 for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You have a good night, girl.
All right, bye-boo.
Bye-bye.